Perfection. We've all heard the word. We've all been told it's something to aim for. We've all been seduced by its shimmering promise. And, honestly, ultimately left hollow when we came up short. There's something deeply embedded in our culture, our media, and our mindsets. It keeps telling us that we are only as good as how close we come to being perfect. The perfect body. The perfect job. The perfect family. The perfect life. It's everywhere we look, whether we're scrolling through curated feeds or watching polished portrayals of success on screen. We are bombarded by highlight reels that make us feel like anything less than flawless is failure. But the truth is uncomfortable. Perfection is a myth, a mirage, a moving target that can never actually be reached. And the more we chase it, the more it runs from us. This ideal we're told to pursue is not just unattainable, it's also toxic. It convinces us that our flaws are fatal, that our mistakes define us, that unless we look, act, speak, and live a certain way, we're not enough. We've been conditioned to believe that to be loved, admired, or successful, we must eliminate every blemish, every scar, every crack. But who decided what perfection even is? What is this phantom image we're all sacrificing ourselves to catch? A clean house? A six-figure job? A face without wrinkles? Or a life without chaos? One person may call it perfection, another may find it soulless. And still we keep reaching. We keep running. We chase a fantasy shaped by someone else's standards, never stopping to ask if that version of life is even right for us. The truth is, perfection is not only subjective, it's a lie that's stealing our joy. Another reason we keep chasing perfection is the fear of missing out. We scroll through social media and see snapshots of people living what appear to be perfect lives. They seem to have it all together. The dream job, the flawless relationship, the pristine home, the glowing skin, and the constant smile. We absorb these curated images and compare them to our unfiltered, chaotic reality. And we start to feel like we are falling behind, like we are missing something essential. We begin to believe that if we were just a bit more perfect, we too could have everything they appear to have. This mindset quietly creeps in and convinces us that perfection is the gatekeeper of love, happiness, success, and recognition. If we don't chase it, we fear we will miss out. But that fear is based on an illusion. The truth is, embracing our imperfections does not exclude us from joy. It invites us into something much more real. It frees us from the performance and opens us up to connection. It allows us to live life in its full, unpredictable, beautiful chaos. Striving for growth is not the problem. It is healthy and human to want to improve, to challenge ourselves, to learn, and to evolve. But there is a critical difference between improvement and perfectionism. One is rooted in self-acceptance. The other is rooted in fear. When we grow from a place of knowing we are already enough, we honor ourselves. When we chase perfection from a place of inadequacy, we erode our self-worth. We do not miss out on life by being imperfect. We miss out when we believe we have to be flawless to participate. Real life begins the moment we stop performing and start showing up as we are. And that's where the problem lies. Perfectionism is not a path to excellence. It is a trap that keeps us chasing a moving target we were never meant to catch. So how do we break free from this exhausting cycle? How do we unlearn the deeply rooted belief that we must be flawless to be enough? The first and most powerful step is to accept that perfection does not exist. It is not a real destination. It is an illusion built on comparison, fear, and cultural expectations. Perfection is not a measure of worth. It is a mirage that pulls us away from our truth. We need to let go of the rigid idea that there is only one right way to live, love, succeed, or be. The world is just too complex, too colorful, too full of nuance for anyone ideal to define how we show up in it. There are infinite ways to be whole, infinite ways to be real. When we embrace imperfection, we reclaim our humanity. We begin to show up in our lives as we truly are, not as we think we are supposed to be. And in doing so, we invite others to do the same. Authenticity becomes a kind of quiet revolution. To support this shift, we must practice self-compassion. That means speaking to ourselves with kindness. It means allowing space for mistakes, knowing they are part of our becoming. It means acknowledging the distance we have traveled, even if we are not yet where we want to be. Perfection is an ever-changing expectation, but self-compassion is an unwavering anchor. When we learn to love ourselves exactly as we are, without needing to prove or perform, we begin to live freely. We begin to live fully. Finally, we need to redefine what success really means. We have been taught to believe that success is tied to perfection, that we must get everything right, look the part, perform without flaw, and never make mistakes. But this belief is not only unrealistic, it is harmful. It keeps us locked in a cycle of self-doubt and burnout. Success is not about appearing flawless. It is about being real. It is about showing up as our full selves, imperfections and all, and living a life that reflects what matters most to us. True success has nothing to do with meeting external expectations, and everything to do with living in alignment with our own values. When we start to measure success by growth, by learning, by honesty, and by courage, we shift the entire game. We begin to celebrate our efforts rather than obsess over outcomes. We begin to honor the small steps, the setbacks we learned from, the resilience we built along the way. This is where real success lives. Perfection is not the goal. Presence is. Authenticity is. Fulfillment is. Perfection asks, am I enough? Success answers, I already am. When we let go of the myth of perfection, we make space for freedom. We stop performing and start living. We stop hiding and start connecting. We stop measuring our lives against impossible standards and start creating a life that actually feels good. Perfection is not the answer. It is the question that keeps us trapped. But when we choose to stop asking it, we start finding our truth. If this resonates with you, ink your truth, rage your fire, repeat it loud, share, like, and subscribe. See you next time.